So some of the issues that the families may face is dynamics within families. Is it going to be the right thing? Do we need to be sharing this information? It's a little bit round, is the child going to be able to process it? Is it the correct information that the child needs? We need to deliver it at a level that they'll understand. Lots of people have their own opinions about what is right and what is wrong. So it's a little bit about spending time with the patient and their family and finding out what works for them and their child. Sure, some of the worries that a parent might have around their children for both the present and the future is the fact that they're not going to be here. There's going to be real milestones that they're going to miss out on, whether that be first day at school if we're dealing with really young children, through to proms, graduations, weddings, birth of children. It can become a real troublesome time for some people because they feel they need to be doing what they need to do to advise and support their children. A little bit of what we can do with them to unpick this and unpick these anxieties is to break it down, make it a little bit more manageable, because they suddenly start thinking about all the events in the future. And we just break it down into small chunks, whether it be some advice, guidance around last day of school, prom or wedding, and then they just deal with them in event time. And a lot of people find that really useful. We also spend some time with families here and now in the present about what is important to their child. And in relation to that, whether it be that they always used to do the bedtime story, they always used to do the school pickup, and we can just do a little bit of work around how we can carry on that, whether it be they choose stories for them, they dictate stories, and they give them information about what they can do for them in the future and how they'll be there for them. It could be, yeah, we've had families that then put the favourite story in the box. So if it's a storybook that they've already shared for a period of time, we encourage that so that it's something that if they've already shared it, they can put it in the box. We also talk a little bit about writing stories, if they want to write stories, if they're quite imaginative. Another thing that's really quite comforting for a lot of people is pictures of the bedtime stories. So they're together sharing that book, and then they take pictures, and that's something else that then can go into the memory box for that child to pull on for comfort in the future. Yeah, so as a community team and along with our colleagues in the hospice, how we strive to support families with their children on this journey is through very comprehensive assessment, building up that relationship with people, identifying if that's something that they feel that they would benefit from. We would then discuss the role of a memory box and how we can support them, if it's something they would like to pursue, to customise it to the needs of their family. So it's never a quick fix, it's something that we have to really work with, build on that trust, their understanding, and then from there it's a little bit about helping them so they'll identify what they feel is important to their child that they would like to say. We give lots of suggestions, but again, they personalise it to their needs, and we just facilitate it. If it's something that they feel they need support to discuss through with either other members of their family or with the children, again, we can be there and we can support them. It's very individual, it's very personal. Sometimes people just take these away, they do some reading, they process it themselves, and then they ask for support as and when they feel that the time's appropriate. So personally for me, the memory box and the aid that it's helped with a patient recently who had a lot of psychological distress, a lot of anxiety that we really struggled to get on top of. It was something that for a long time, barriers were always there. So when you tried to do that assessment, there was always, no, it's fine, I'm okay, I'll deal with it later. But you knew there was something bubbling away. So this patient was separated from his children, and the anxiety that was causing him was starting to manifest. He was getting symptoms that were associated with stress and anxiety. So again, it was a little bit of, we need to do some work here. So I managed to get some support from the chaplaincy team here at the hospice. So again, slowly, and it was over a long period of time, He started to build up his trust, open up a little bit, and yes, the crux of all the anxiety and what was manifesting into symptoms was the distress because he was going to be leaving his children. So where we had discussed memory boxes in the past and he'd closed us down, he was starting to become a little bit more receptive of it as he was aware that things were changing with his disease. We left the boxes with the patient to give him time to look through them, process it, and then see what's going to work for him. After a period of time, questions started to arise. He seemed to like a few ideas, so we then spent some time with what he felt would be appropriate for his children. And in doing that, he was able to put special foods in the box of things that they'd cooked together. We also included some stories from some books and things that they used to share and enjoy together. Pictures, memorabilia that the girls had given to him from their holidays, which he felt was really important as well, to let them know that he'd cherished them. And then as time went on, he felt a little bit more comfortable with the idea, and actually we managed to source some software because he was no longer able to write, and he was able to dictate to his children just some advice that he wanted to give, some fatherly advice for proms, finding the right husband, and moving forward for their wedding day and for life. In doing all of this work, it really helped contribute to psychological distress alleviated, became more settled, a little bit more accepting of what was going on, and with the support, continued support of myself and the chaplaincy team, he actually had a very peaceful passing. So it was there, the work had been done, and yeah, it was something that he felt was so important in the end, but just needed that time to recognise it and the tools to do it. So thanks to the considerable investment that we've had from the support from all the funds raised by the community, the charity have been able to provide us with these boxes. In using these boxes, we have been able to support families through really difficult times in their journey, and these boxes have been able to give them some comfort at extremely difficult times. The boxes are a considerable investment for the charities, so please, we ask, are there any businesses or organisations that would be interested in supporting the hospice with this incredible resource? Please come forward and contact the Cransley Hospice Trust fundraising team.